Seth, I think as we start off, with our theme of the patient speak, what do you feel as a patient advocate that we, the industry, needs to hear the most from patients with genetic disease and rare diseases?
Yeah, great question, and happy to start us off. I think when it comes to just genetic testing in general, it's going to vary depending on where the patient's at. I mean, I know it may sound cliche, but where they're at in their, health odyssey or their health journey, right? Because in my instance, I saw my mom go through Huntington's disease for 17 years of my life, and it slowly deteriorated her both physically and mentally. And it was kind of like watching someone on an island where the water continues to go up and up and up, and there's nothing for you to do besides just watch. And so for me, I wanted to prepare my life of what that might look like. But what's interesting about Huntington's disease is that, only about 10% of people actually go through genetic testing because of there's no treatment and there's no cure. And, what's the point of knowing if you're going to end up getting sick? And so I think that's very interesting because there's about 40,000 Americans with it, with another 200,000 plus at risk. So, being in this 10% category is very interesting. But with genetic testing in general, I think it's important to have the right resources and support around because I didn't necessarily have a genetic counselor. I didn't have the ins and outs of what does it entail if I tested negative, right? And having a sister who's at risk, and what is that going to make me feel like? Am I going to have survivor's guilt? And so genetic counseling is becoming more prevalent and very important to know about those next steps because, you hear stories from time to time of how fortunately people get the results on the phone or they get it through their primary care. And then it's like, all right, now what do I do? And that was kind of how I felt. What do I do next? Who do I tell? What support do I have? I'm very fortunate I have some good friends who helped me, but not everyone may be in that same position that I was in when deciding this, very personal decision.